Hello, Shankar this side. And when we talk about astrology, then I can talk slowly and steadily and talk about a lot of things. But main thing are the 9 planets. First and foremost thing is you should understand what these 9 planets mean. All the 9 planets signify a live thing. एक जो आपका जिससे जुड़े हुए हैं आप, और एक नॉन लाइव चीज जो कि माया है, जिसे हम कहते हैं थिंग्स वी डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. सो इन दिस video, and please do watch this video till the end, that you would find it very useful for yourself. So I will explain all about all 9 planets and what is the role. So it is like astrology is like it's a good science where you can actually see things happening as it is happening in the world. As outside, so is inside. जैसा बाहर है वैसा ही अंदर है. आपके अंदर 39 ट्रिलियन बैक्टीरियाज आपके अंदर बॉडी के हैं. Do we know that? There is a whole world ecosystem of bacteria inside your body जो आपको makes you live also and makes you to die also at times. So we don't know the universe. Nobody understands the universe. You only see the universe and tell it. So in the same way, Darwin had a theory, molecules are a theory. We are also something where whatever we do, actions we do, etc., they all leave an impression. We are born, reborn. I do believe very, 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 very firmly in it. So important is karma, and important are the planets. So let me come to my original thing from philosophy to what I was going to explain to you was planets. Sun. Sun in the life part of it represents your father, mainly. In the non-life part of it, it represents your soul, you yourself. Wherever sun is placed, वो आपका जिंदगी का उस जगह का मकसद आपको you will be very importance to that place will be very high. जहां भी जिस भी घर में sun होगा. So I will not go in detail so that you understand what sun is. Sun on the one hand is father, and on the other hand is you yourself, the soul. Since it represents the soul, it also represents your ego, your prestige. Prestige के साथ जंबा व पावर भी आता है. और राजा, sun is like a king. It is embodied as far as non-life thing is like a king. And a king काम कम करता है. Remember one thing. Sun moves with the inertia of the other planets. कि उसको कौन कितने मंत्री क्या समझा रहे हैं. तो जब आप हॉरोस्कोप देखिएगा तो सन को ऐसा देखिए, कौन से प्लैनेट के दूसरे बैठा है, 12वें बैठा है, 5वें बैठा है, 9वां बैठा है, 3rd बैठा है, 11वां बैठा है, 7वां बैठा है, 8वां बैठा है. What are the planets who are sitting around sun? They make sun the raja, the move. को मूव करने की क्षमता देता है. तो सन के लिए, हर प्लैनेट के लिए आपको ये बिल्कुल गलत है कि खाली कुछ दृष्टियां है. सब दृष्टियां इंपॉर्टेंट है. आगे कौन सा प्लैनेट है वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. उसके अगले घर, पिछले घर में कौन सा प्लैनेट है, 7वें घर में कौन सा प्लैनेट है, 5वां 9वां अच्छा माना जाता है, 3रा 11 भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड प्लैनेट 6th, 8th एंड 12th टू ईच प्लैनेट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड दे हैव देयर ओन रिजल्ट्स. वो हम कभी उसकी चर्चा इस विषय में नहीं कर सकते. बट सन गेट्स इंपैक्टेड बाय एवरीबडी. सन एक राजा है जिसको सारी अच्छी बातें तो हैं उसके अंदर कि प्रेस्टीज है, ईगो है, देता है, मगर जो राजा होता है उसको अंदर सारे गुण पता है कि किस तरह चोरी करी जाती है, कैसे धोखा दिया जाता है, किस तरह षड्यंत्र, हाउ यू मेक अ प्लान टू डिफीट एनीबडी एल्स, हाउ डू हैव अ किचन कैबिनेट. उस पहले कैबिनेट में एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स भी होते थे. तो एवरीथिंग इज देयर. तो जितने भी नेगेटिव चीजें होती हैं, कि जितने भी शतरंज की नेगेटिव चालें होती हैं, राजाओं को पता रहता था. राजा इज ईगो, प्रेस्टीज, किंग, एवरीथिंग, बट इज ऑल्सो नोस द आर्ट ऑफ चीटिंग, द आर्ट ऑफ मेकिंग वॉर, द आर्ट ऑफ डिसेप्शन, एवरीथिंग सारा पता. ये याद रखिएगा. तो सूर्य की को देखकर, और वो कोई प्लैनेट खराब नहीं, कोई प्लैनेट अच्छा नहीं है, अपने हिसाब से वो रिजल्ट देगा, लाइव और नॉन लाइव चीजों के लिए. मून, चंद्रमा जो है उसको लोग हम उसका इमोशन कहते हैं. इट्स आवर इमोशन. हाउ डू वी फील, हमारी मनोस्थिति कैसी है. अगर किसी स्थिति में आपकी मनोस्थिति अच्छी रही, you will be successful. That is why the importance of moon is there. अगर आपका मून बहुत स्ट्रांग है, then मनोस्थिति अच्छी रहती है. तो in the live aspect, moon represents your anything to do with females generally, but mainly it represents your mother. आपकी mother को represent करता है. And on the non-life thing, it represents cash, liquid पैसा. Liquid money, liquidity is governed by moon. Moon is the most important. अगर आपके पास कैश पैसा है और आपकी कोई ऐसी काम कर रहे हैं जिसमें कैश की जरूरत होती है और कैश आ रहा है जा रहा है, moon will have a relationship. So these are two very important aspects. And moon आपकी मनोस्थिति. Moon also carries with itself a lot of karmic. Karmic account बहुत होता है moon के अंदर. पिछले जन्म में आपने क्या कर्म किए, moon carries with it. So that's it. Moon. It's a very important planet. One more important thing about this moon planet is कि moon कहीं-कहीं और हरदम थोड़ा सा धोखेबाज होता है. It's a cheat. It has got this tendency to cheat. Remember, this is and this is not Parashar, Nadi, or I have read about hundreds of books and met a lot of people, and these are things I'm telling you out of my experience and learnings. Moon is a cheat because moon अपने आप देखिएगा रोहिणी नक्षत्र में इसलिए अच्छा है क्योंकि वो रोहिणी को ज़्यादा प्यार करता था. तो रोहिणी को ज़्यादा प्यार, it stayed in Rohini for for a longer time. And there's a story of Daksha, किस तरह फिर उसको शिव जी ने बचाया. So moon has a tendency to cheat, and it is waxing and waning also. That also has a connotation कि आपका mood variation भी moon देखता है, जो मैंने बोला ही moon मनोस्थिति होगा. So moon if it is not positive, the energy is not good, ये आपको cheat करने का, धोखा देने का एक बहुत क्षमता रखता है. धोखेबाज होता है जब भी. It depends again. Repeat. 2nd, 12th, 5th, 9th, 7th, 6th, 8th, 12th सारे planets देखना चाहिए और जो planet conjunction में वो सब देखना चाहिए. Then you can understand moon very well. The third important planet which I want to tell you is about Mercury. Mercury is like a small boy. It's like that small. It's like a boy. आपको गुस्सा आ गया तो आपको he will hit you with the ball, और प्यार आ गया तो गले लग जाएगा. It is like a small boy. That's the tendency. That is the way Mercury is intrinsically. Mercury in the life thing represents your sisters, your daughter, and your father's mother. These are the relatives Mercury depicts about. Mercury also somewhere has got some relationship with your mother's brothers also, and Mausis also. So that all that paraphernalia of Behan, Beti, Bua, and around that relationships is governed by Mercury. Mercury is also your intellect. So on one part of the intellect is that it can be very, very, like it cuts things, dissect things. देखा चीजों को बहुत दूर दृष्टि से देखकर it takes a decision. When it is in a good placement, good and aspected by good planets, it is a planet which makes you to decide, use your intellect. Then it's a very matured boy, a boy who is studying very hard. It's a small boy who is studying very hard and very, like मेरे को तो पास होना ही है, मेरे को समझना इस चीज को कैसे आया ये, इस सवाल, I have to solve this. That is the mode of Mercury. That is what. And when it is negative side, it's like a boy who would say, let me यार कोई कुंजी देखता हूँ, कुंजी में से जल्दी से let me make the answer and show it to a teacher. So Mercury has both these sides. It's a negative way that way, it's positive also. And Mercury, every planet also governs something in a body also. Like sun, I'll just repeat, sun will, I've not told, sun is your whole body, also your bones, your vitality, immunity system is sun. Moon is your, the circulation of blood, the way it circulates, and the various hormones in your blood. It's basically the content, the water content of your body is governed by moon. blood has some amount of water, your body has some amount of water, your kidneys also. So the water content of your body is by moon, which I'm not told. Mercury is your nervous system, basically your nervous system and the skin, because the nervous system, any problem comes, it is always comes in the skin. So it's everything about skin. And Mercury on the life thing I've told you is about your behen, beti, bua, your this thing. It also tells you about the way you operate. Then you have to see which are the planets it is conjunct with, 2nd, 12th, 6th, 8th, 12th, 5th, 9th and 7th, and then come to a decision on Mercury. It gives always it results on live and non-live things. So that is one thing which an astrologer has to see. He has to consult the D charts. He has to make a Rashi, Tulya Navamsh Kundli, and vice versa, which I do, which you have to should see. Then comes Mars. Mars is like the executor. It's the commander-in-chief. It executes the orders of sun. If your first house is your king, then 7th house is the minister, the Mars. Mars is the executioner. It executes. If it is strong, it is good, it is firm, it is nice, it is positive, it executes things well. In today's Kali Yuga, Mars, when it is not strong also, when it is niche, it also makes you an executor, but a negative executor. मतलब पतली जुगाड़, जिसे कहते हैं, it will do जुगाड़. That commander, it's an executor in such a way that it will make jugaad. It can fix deals, it can be a slime, it can talk to you from the slide, but it is always a commander-in-chief in operation. A strong Mars, the right way, a weak Mars in the way which is not right or wrong, because there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong. We have made the rules of the game and we play it. Some people have made the rules of the game. I'm playing it, you are playing it, we all are playing it. You know? So it depends on that. Mars is the commander-in-chief, and Mars governs brothers on one hand, and it governs our blood, pure blood. Moon governs the water in the blood, Mars governs the blood. So that's what Mars is all about. Then when we come to Venus, Venus is an important planet which in the live aspects governs your opposite, it governs the opposite sex. It governs the lady. Now the lady is always, when you talk about lady, there's a live thing, and in a non-live thing, lady is what? Lady is, they wear ornaments, the way it walks, that is all the Maya. The Maya around us is all Venus. Computer, the media, the today's YouTube, anything which is there, the spectrum, etc., etc., it's all Venus. Venus, all this relationship, sex, love, that part is the non-live part. In the live part, it is your partner, which is your wife, and your relationship with ladies, that is the live part of Venus. In the non-live parts, everything which you can think of about the Mayavi world. It also governs medical science, it also governs business, it also governs about finance, partnerships. It also governs Venus knew of the Mrit Sanjeevani, so it governs medical science very importantly. In the system in your body, it governs the hormones. So that's subtle thing. So astrology can be used for medical purposes. Astrology can be used to understand your psychology. Astrology can be used for understanding what is going to be the trend with your relatives. So these trends can be easily told by astrology by seeing the planets. So Venus governs all these things, the live and the non-live aspect of Venus in this thing, it governs the hormones, it also governs the semens. To have a child, Venus is very important. I mean, Venus, because semens is the seed by which. So Venus governs your semens and your reproductive system, the reproductive organs, it also governs that. After Venus, I come to the important planet, which is Saturn. Saturn is the planet which is a planet of karma. Saturn is the planet of profession. Saturn is the planet of prestige. Saturn is the planet which tells you to be in structure, to be in order, be in discipline. Saturn is all these things in a positive way. And if Saturn is not good, you just put the negative of all these things, the opposites. If जैसे हम बच्चों कहते हैं ना, ये ये है, इसका opposite क्या होगा? So just put the opposite. All that will be Saturn. Saturn will be, there'll be no structure, there'll be no order, there'll be no discipline, there'll be anarchy. That's how your mind will function. That is what Saturn does when it is not there. Saturn is about your elderly people. Saturn is about your, I consider Saturn to be very important because it's about your things, about your family. I mean, the way, people talk is what your entire family has been in the past. What are the karmas they have done or what you have done is all that energy is in Saturn. And that energy comes as Saturn moves. So that energy comes only when Saturn moves and releases those karmas, negatives and positives. Of course, other planets also have an important role to play. And I've also told you that important is see the conjunction 2nd, 12th, 5th, 9th, 7th, 6th, 8th, 12th to Saturn and then come to a conclusion to anything about Saturn. And nothing is bad, nothing is positive. Everything is there. It is there. The 7th most important planet, which is Jupiter. Jupiter, remember something. Jupiter is like a guru, but it is about wisdom. It is about general wisdom. It gives you intuition. It tells you when Jupiter is well placed, it tells you to do the right and the wrong. It is philosophy. It is your elder people. It is your father, guru, your first guru is your father. So Jupiter also represents your father. So it's your father, it's your fortune. Because if you work the right way, that makes you fortunate. So Jupiter is also your fortune. So finance, children, fortune, and how you deal with the society, charity, etc. is done made by Jupiter. But then again, Jupiter, when it is well placed, will give you all those things. When it is negative, you may have a family, but you can have a family in a different way where you're not staying in two separate rooms. Your children today. In Kali Yuga, the whole aspect of Jupiter is changed, and I keep on repeating, Jupiter today only gives you a cover for a lot of negative things which happen, which we when we sit, we discuss, we say this is not right. But people do all those things. And if Jupiter is somewhere around, the energy Jupiter, it just covers it. So that Jupiter also does that. Remember that. So you have to see Jupiter in a very, very holistic way. And Jupiter in life thing covers your family. Jupiter in your system covers your intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas. Anybody having diabetes will have problems with Jupiter. So all those things are governed by Jupiter in terms of your whole body in the system. What is the things in the system that Jupiter covers? Lastly, we come to our two karmic planets, Rahu and Ketu. They are the most important planets, which are the nodes of Moon and Sun. And they are not 2 points, but 2 points which have the energy of a lot of planets. So Rahu is the giver, Ketu is the taker. Rahu is again like Venus. It is a planet of illusion. It is a planet of thinking big. It is a planet of which says I have no rules. It's a planet which also governs your grandfathers in life things. So Rahu is a planet which I have talked a lot, and Rahu is a planet where it from telecom to technology to thinking big to conspiracy to spirituality, all is governed by Rahu. And Ketu is governed by detachment, going down, also rising up and becoming the Dhwaj, the flag, that is also governed by Ketu. So Ketu also has a very mammoth play. Rahu and Ketu are two planets which have a very great interlink with Saturn. Rahu and Ketu's depositors, which planets they are lords, which are the planets who are the depositors of Rahu Ketu, the planets with Rahu Ketu, the house where they are sitting, and the planets which are 2nd, 12th, 5th, 7th, 9th, 6th, 8th, 12th from Rahu and Ketu. Actually, by that, I get a snapshot of the destiny of this person, the path of this person will take. So that Rahu and Ketu are very important planets. In this way, Rahu governs your paternal side and Ketu governs your maternal side. So this is what is about the 9 planets in a very brief way. When you have to see these planets, And by seeing the planets, you can talk a lot. Of course, I move the planets move, and the way I do astrology is the planets are always moving from the time of your birth, and we don't know the actual time of birth because the time of conception is the time of birth, but we take it the time when the umbilical cord is cut, then the person cries. There's a lot of debate on this. I've read a lot of books, but I've read a lot of books on this. But what is important is once you have it, the moon is important, and then you keep on moving the planets in that 360 degrees pi diagram each year, each moment, and at a time when a person is asking you a query, and superimpose a lot of other things before coming to a prediction and understanding the basic of what the planets are going to give you, the destiny which is there for you, which you have made for yourself. Actually, a person when before born writes down his wish that he did this wrong thing and he should be paid for it. He wronged at this point, or this he needed and he didn't get it. He worked so hard for it. Now he wants it. Wants to become a billionaire now. That's all there. That is written by you, which can be seen by the movements of these 9 planets together. So what I've told you is the trends of what the planets tell you. So with this in mind, you can get a snapshot of the entire horoscope. With one planet, it has a story to tell. All the 9 planets together have a story to tell. Each planet in combination has a story to tell. So that is what you have to decode from your horoscope. And that once you understand that and learn that, you will be able to tell, even with all that, a trend which is going to happen. And also, destiny can never be changed. Whatever is destined has to happen, but you have always a part of free will, which is 30 to 40%, where you can change your destiny. Instead of getting into your feet into a gaddha, you can go around it, or you can go around the ditch rather than putting your legs into it. And astrology that way can be a good coach for profession, for marriage, for relationships, for what a child should do. Where will you think he would be best doing, and things to various other things also pertaining to spirituality, occult, buying land, etc. Astrology can always be a good counselor, a very good guide, especially in profession and relationships. I have done a lot of thousands of lakhs of people, the people have benefited from me. Thanks. Bye for now. Mobile number is 98187 33000. Thank you.